100%. I would say go with SciMate 100%, especially if you are unsure. I would say from talking with other founders looking in the space, the largest barrier is not understanding, especially in today's environment, how to automate your outreach. Obviously, the manual stuff works, but there's so many things that you could be doing that provide much higher value.
Yeah.
And so if you have a team that already knows what they're doing, has a process, I would say go for it because the combination of making sure the emails are delivered, the personalized emails, and helping build a list is huge. And I've tried it myself and failed, obviously. So I think, yeah, do it. Go with SciMate.
Appreciate the time today, Calvin. Calvin is the founder and CEO of a startup called Upsteer, and they're building a very unique product for Shopify brands. For folks that haven't heard of Upsteer, could you tell us a little bit about what it is that you guys do and what it is you guys focus on?
Yeah, absolutely. And great to be here. But Upsteer is an order to cash automation platform specifically for Shopify B2B brands. So we help them get paid up to 30% faster than any tools or manual processes. And we're targeting Shopify brands because a lot of folks are opening up their own B2B storefronts. And as doing so, they need help with one, financial accuracy, need to get paid faster, and need to foster better B2B customer relationships, which is exactly where we come in.
Awesome. In terms of basically generating interest or demo bookings, what was kind of the main strategy that you guys were implementing prior to working together with us?
Yeah, I was doing this all manually. I was using Clay, using the tools like instantly, but
Mhm.
what I found is that our deliverability, or at least what I consumed was our deliverability, just wasn't there. So we weren't getting in touch with leads, we weren't getting any FaceTime or any reactions on our messaging, so we couldn't iterate. And yeah, overall we just weren't getting calls booked.
Got it. So basically, you were kind of handling that end-to-end process yourself and kind of learning kind of the best practices along the way. Is that sort of accurate?
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. No, I checked with Juan, and I believe we've been working with you guys over the last 2.5-ish months. Um,
Mhm.
what's your experience been like working with us, Juan, particularly? But what sort of results have you seen so far?
Yeah, Juan's the best. I think quick iteration was very key for working with SciMate. I think one thing, at least a worry, is a lot of agencies kind of go off and do their own thing, but we do quick iterations, bi-weekly syncs, and if we're seeing anything or want to experiment, that's typically implemented immediately. So it feels like an extension of my team versus working with some kind of outsourced agency, which has been fantastic.
Appreciate that. Juan is probably very happy with you saying that, but he won't show it. What do you think the impact has kind of been for you personally or on the business? Typically, I like to ask because I want to kind of understand where the value is that we're adding. Because a lot of the times people say different things like, "Oh, you guys saved me a ton of time," or allowed me to kind of postpone the hiring of a full-time sales rep. But yeah, I just love to know like what the sort of feedback is.
Yeah, I think a couple of things. For our company in particular, we're a small, lean team, and I do a lot of the development, and I'm also part of the go-to-market. So you've allowed us to essentially still do our outbound efforts and a very efficient outbound efforts so that we can book calls. I can still focus my attention on doing any kind of back-end development, and I can take the calls. So the entire outbound portion has been essentially outsourced, which has been fantastic. So it saved me a ton of time. And on top of that, as an early stage startup, it's helped us iterate and develop our messaging to folks. We're able to see what's working very quickly and what's not working, and even test out different scenarios, which has
Yeah.
been fantastic.
Got it. So iteration is very key to kind of understanding what we should be saying and what is working best. Hypothetically, let's say there's someone who's perhaps on the fence about working with us. Maybe they're skeptical. They think Juan is kind of ugly, you know. Maybe they're considering other options like hiring another sales rep. How likely are you to recommend us and what would you say to that person?
100%. I would say go with SciMate 100%, especially if you are unsure. I would say from talking with other founders looking in the space, the largest barrier is not understanding, especially in today's environment, how to automate your outreach. Obviously, the manual stuff works, but there's so many things that you could be doing that provide much higher value.
Yeah.
And so if you have a team that already knows what they're doing, has a process, I would say go for it because the combination of making sure the emails are delivered, the personalized emails, and helping build a list is huge. And I've tried it myself and failed, obviously. So I think, yeah, do it. Go with SciMate.
Appreciate it. Last question I always like to ask, kind of for our own internal feedback, what's like something you think we could improve on? And you can be brutally honest. Like we can
Mhm.
take it. We're big boys, but we'd love to know.
I would say the initial messaging is great. The replies, if there's some way, which this is also myself, creating canned replies and responses.
Yeah.
I think who knows what the statistics are, but sometimes you get a specific question or even a vague one, and making sure we can handle or at least keep logs of each of those, I think hopefully would improve the chances of a call
Mhm.
booked. But that's like anything. I have experience working with like business development teams, and that's always just something on it. But maybe just a formalized process of canned questions or very FAQs that you hear from your other prospects and
Yeah.
have that be part of the onboarding process, I think would save some touches and hopefully result in more booked meetings. And then we can keep adding to that. But we already kind of have what Janine, I'm working, like I give her pings and she's very receptive to the feedback. So it's been good. But that's more just when you're initially onboarding, it might be helpful.
Okay, that's actually great feedback because we've heard that from another person who gave us a testimonial. I think what
Mhm.
we'll do or what we'll try to build going forward, and you can tell me if this is a good idea or not, is basically like a chat bot based off of the Octave playbook that we generate, and then also
Mhm.
based on the onboarding form to kind of create a best answer to a question, and then we can kind of double check with you, is this a good response, or
Mhm.
maybe we can tweak it a little bit. Is that something that
Yeah.
would kind of make sense?
No, 100%. I think that's good to have like some kind of oversight if you want it. And
Yeah.
then some kind of initial guess, always good.
Great feedback. Thank you so much, Calvin, for your time. And we're wishing you guys all the best at Upsteer.
Awesome. Thank you, team. Appreciate it.